Hello and welcome to the video. Before we get started, if you'd like to provide input on future content and get our weekly newsletter, click on our survey. The link will be below. We also have a report on Ethereum 2, along with a bonus report on why you should learn Solidity now. Again, the link will be below. Now on to the video, and thank you. Okay, so I've been doing some more work on this, some more experimentation, and let me show you a couple of things. First of all, if you look here, sort of, oh, I got the wrong one. Should be this one, and then there's this one. Okay, let me highlight this one right here. This is the message. This is the log. Remember I mentioned Solana space logs. This is what you get. This is what happens when I actually try to run the, you'll see me running this. Let me bring, what? Looks like it's a little big. Yeah, maybe a little big. Yeah, let's shrink it down so we can get it on here. Okay, so I'm gonna run the, move this a little, and watch what happens here. You'll actually see what's put out by the Rust program. Now, you can see what's put out by the T-script, the DApp, and here you can see what is coming through on the, see, we got a bunch of these. And this, what this is telling me, this is the debugging stuff I put in the Rust part. So, it's not failing, but what's happening is it's somehow not getting the let's see, it's not saving stuff, because we noticed before every time we do this would be incremented. That's no longer the case. What's happening now is it is somehow it's not failing, but it's not saving. So let me show you what we got. It's a little bit of a mess because I've been experimenting here. All right. So remember, the problem was saving it. So what I tried is this, and I found this on some example. So I get a buffer. I serialize that buffer. And what I did is, theoretically, the buffer should have everything that's in the greed account. When I check the length, you can see it prints out that the length is 60. And before I print it out, you can see the greet string that it sets it to, and we know it incremented the counter. And we get the length, which is 60, like I said. And it's supposed to print out that how many times we've been greeted, but if it's not saving the data, then you're not gonna get anything out. But the whole point is I put it in a buffer. As a buffer, I can serialize it, supposedly. And it says it created this buffer from greeting account. And we know the greeting account has values in it. Now, it has to be a pointer. And so it is, it's supposed to be getting it in there, getting it in there, but it's not. It's not failing anymore. So the question's got to be, how can we figure this out? And that's what I'm going to be working on. Let me get out of here. Let me see something. One thing I did find, in addition to this, this here is very useful. You can also see it when I modify. When I go to let's see if we can bring it up. When I go to deploy, it shows the messages right here, so you can see that it's deploying. So this is very, very useful, telling you what's going on. Now the other thing is, I want to see let me get this, copy this, and there is a let's see, Solana account, and if I do this, so it's not telling me the data. It's telling me the public key. It's telling me the balance, the owner, it's not executable. And I'm not sure if it actually needs the config, since it has this. I want to try something. See if it's going to give me the account data. Because I want to see if there's a way to see what's in there. No. That did not work. So, let's see. Alright, so you can output it, display balance, configuration, let's see. Let's see if we can get something out of it. Whoop, I'm typing it wrong here. Well, oh, I know. This is gonna it doesn't like, for one thing, it doesn't like account data. Let's do verbose. Let's see what we got here. If we can get any more. Default sign-up path. Executable owner. RPC URL. So it's giving you a lot of information here. Let's see. Dash output. Okay. Still, yeah, you can see it does not have any data in it. It looks, the account data, I'm wondering if, I'm not sure. It's just saying base 64. So for some reason, it is not putting the account data back into the account. And that could possibly be that I'm perhaps trying to, yeah, okay. What I'm thinking is, one theory I have of why this isn't working is not that I'm serializing it wrong, but I'm trying to serialize it into perhaps the program account and not the user account. So let's go back and look at the code. And if I'm right, we can... So what is the... Notice there's a lot of garbage in here. Account... If account... Oh, therein lies the problem. So it's getting the... Let's see... Yeah. So the accounts should be, it's point, okay. This may be something that can be fixed actually at the level of the, let's quit out here. Let's see. Client. All right, so what we really want, let's see. So, transaction, and it's creating an instruction. Okay. And what we really want is the user ID. That's what I'm thinking is the problem here. I think what we want is not the user ID, but not the program ID, but the pair. And let me see something. I think that's why it's not saving the data. We're trying to save data to, let's run this again and see what it spits out. So, look at what we got here. This is, I have it print out pair. So it's a key pair. And what I need to really pass it, I think, is this public key. So I think we've learned quite a bit here. So let me go over it before we finish. First of all, let's go back looking at with all the garbage I have in here. I know I gotta clean this here up, but, right, so we get our data that's passed in from try to slice. That puts it in the greeting account. Then we do what we're going to do, and then we create a buffer, and we serialize that buffer to the account. And theoretically, that should work. And theoretically that should work if we're doing it right. But the problem appears to be that this program, and I just realized it looking at stuff, that it's the account it actually gets is, well, that's interesting though. You should not be able to write, if it is a program account, you should not be able to get the account. If the account owner should be the program ID. And yet we're able to, oh, you know why? Because I bet that kind of makes sense. But then, see what we got here is a counter, and this is part of the program. And unless, no, greeting account, when we get it, is immutable. So it is changeable, because it doesn't complain when we change it. But the question, I guess, is why was it able to be changed in the original program and not here? Well, at any rate, roughly this is the idea. What the whole concept is you have this hunk of bytes. You turn it into a struct. You can modify the struct and then you write it back. And why it is not writing it back is the question, because it says here, when it says account and account info, the account to say hello to. Well, the account to say hello to is this one here. Let's just try one thing before we go. Copy. And let's put this here. So this is also, well, that is very interesting. It's got a bunch of data in here, and its owner, and so this is, the owner is the program. Because what I bet is, if we do this, because this is yet a third account. All right, let's copy this. I think that's, we're running into whose account is who. And you see, this is the program. So you're modifying a non-executable account that is owned by the program, and for some reason this account is not taking the data. So it makes me wonder if it's a matter of space. Remember when we looked at accounts, it should just take whatever data it is and throw it in there when you get it. And theoretically, see, this is the loader. This here, there is probably, I want to say it's a hash of the program, because this is theoretically is executable, which means you should not be able to change this. You should be able to change this because it is not executable. Anyway, I think we got a bunch of information here, and what I need to do is kind of parse through this and figure it out, try to figure it out for you all. And any input, you certainly put stuff in the comments if you have a question, if you see something that I'm missing, and we'll go on from there. So thank you very much for watching. I know this ended up being a rather long one, so I will speak to you next time. Take care.